Hey, so if you are on this website to learn about intuitive eating, the most important question you probably need the answer to is what is it? So, intuitive eating, in its most simplest definition, is just eating in moderation and essentially breaking free from the diet mentality and starting to listen to our bodies and our own hunger signals. But this book, Intuitive Eating, which is also known as mindful eating, they're really similar, is broken down into 10 principles. So these 10 principles kind of make up what intuitive eating is. And I also have a page on my blog that talks more specifically about these principles. So the first thing is to reject the diet mentality. So intuitive eating means that you no longer, believe in dieting, will ever diet again, and you have recognized the negative effects of dieting and don't want that in your life anymore. The second principle is honoring your hunger. So it's all about eating when you're hungry and listening to your hunger signals and honoring that hunger by feeding yourself when you're hungry. Making peace with food, so giving yourself unconditional, non-judgmental permission to eat any food that you enjoy, and not being restrictive or depriving. Number 4 is to challenge the food police. So all those voices that, I'm sure we're all accustomed to in our head that say, shouldn't be eating that, you're going to get fat, put that down, or, all those things, you're hopeless, you're never going to lose the weight. Any negative thought that's kind of about your body or about your food or about your diet is the food police. So challenging that food police and ignoring them and not giving them that power and eventually killing them. They're going to be gone. Feeling your fullness. So being mindful while you're eating and being in the moment and not like rushing through it because it takes our body a while to recognize fullness. So learning what it feels like to be satisfied and full for you, because it's different for all of us. So learning that and kind of learning how to stop when you're full. Discovering the satisfaction factor. So learning again that food is meant to be satisfying, and when it is satisfying, we eat less because there's not a need to eat so much when you've been satisfied. The reason we usually overeat is because we're so deprived and restricted. So the seventh principle is coping with your emotions without using food. A lot of us use food as that kind of comfort or boredom or sadness, anger, to fill any of those things, but we know that it doesn't work in the long run. It just works while you're eating the food, and then the second you're done, you feel even worse because you ate the food and you didn't fix the problem. So learning how to cope with that is another part of intuitive eating, because dieting doesn't really teach you how to cope with that, does it? The eighth principle is respecting your body. So I'm not going to go into this too much right now because I know probably a lot of us have some body image issues, and that's a whole other video, but respecting your body. She did not say love your body, love every part of your body. She said respect it. Exercising, feeling the difference. So learning to enjoy movement for what it does for your body, the energy it gives you, how it makes you feel, the stress relieving, the endorphins, just the strength that you feel, and not the number on your calorie counting watch. And then the last one is gentle nutrition. Honor your health with gentle nutrition. And what she means by this is making food choices that honor your taste buds while also making you feel good. And she says gentle because in the beginning, especially, nutrition kind of has to take the back seat because we need to kind of explore the process and go through making peace with food by eating foods that we've been depriving ourselves of and things like that, because if nutrition takes the front seat, then we won't let ourselves go through that process because we'll be too worried about, I should be eating this, I shouldn't be eating that. So, yeah, those are the 10 principles. So, if you go to that page about the 10 guiding principles and breaking them all down more in detail, but essentially it's just eating in moderation. It's basically when you see that person and you're like, how do they just eat normally and stay naturally thin? This is how. They're just doing this naturally. They probably never dieted. And when we've already dieted, we have to choose to do this, and we have to make the conscious effort to become an intuitive natural eater, and then someday it will be natural and you're going to be that person. And I know maybe it sounds impossible, but it's not. So that's what it is. I hope that kind of cleared it up a little bit, but there's tons of other videos on here because I know you probably have so many questions if this is your first time being exposed to it. So this is just the basics. We're just getting started.